What's up everybody, once again my name is Matt and welcome back to Let's Play Hyrule Warriors. In the last episode we started the Master Quest DLC pack by going to Elden Caves. And now, well, we're gonna march right along into Hyrule Field. We're gonna play as Wizzro in this episode, so first let's go to the bazaar and check out this character. First thing you'll note is that he's level 22, whereas my other DLC characters are 23. That really shouldn't matter too much though. More importantly though, the badges. For attack badges, well, it's really nothing new, just stuff that we've seen before. He's not fully decked out just yet. For defense badges, we've just got the empty bottle, and for assist badges, it's just Farore's Wind 1, so really nothing new there to show off just yet. Anyways though, now that that is out of the way, what do you say we jump right into this level? You know what, I think I'll go with the Strength 3 ring. That should be good enough. This level's actually pretty quick.
With Volga and Wizzro at the head of her army, Sia launched her invasion of Hyrule. En route, Wizzro offered some advice. He said their first priority should be the eradication of Hyrule's fairies. The good-hearted fairies of Hyrule were known to provide aid and comfort to their chosen warriors. Should the legendary hero appear and receive their assistance, Sia and her forces might be hard-pressed. Sia considered Wizzro's counsel and commanded her troops to begin hunting fairies. Many fairies were captured throughout Hyrule, but a few eluded her grasp. Unbeknownst to Sia, a mysterious young woman was working with the Gorons to protect the fairies. Rather than delay her invasion further, Sia dispatched Volga and Wizzro to capture the last stragglers.
Alright, let's get started, shall we? And I guess now it makes more sense as to why we encountered so many great fairies during the main story, because, you know, Sia was trying to capture them, and where Sia was, well, chances are we would have found a great fairy, so that sort of makes more sense now. Anyways, this is Wizzro. He's honestly my least favorite character to play as. Like, before this DLC, it was probably Midna, but now it's definitely Wizzro. Like, I don't know, I just really do not like the way that he plays. It does not fit into my playstyle, so I just don't like him. Like, his attacks are powerful, and you can juggle enemies very, very easily, but a lot of the times, like, he just doesn't do the amount of damage that I expect him to. Like, this laser attack is probably his best ability for clearing out keeps, and it's like the one combo that I made sure I knew how to do before going into this level, just because I'm going to abuse the crap out of it, like, probably as much as I can to take out bosses and just clear keeps, because it's probably one of his most powerful moves. Speaking of, like, taking out bosses, though, that's where Wizzro does actually shine. Like, his attacks, they're not really focused on large groups of enemies. They're more or less focused on, like, what's directly in front of you. And when you're fighting a boss, that is incredibly helpful, because all of Wizzro's attacks for, like, fighting bosses and stuff like that, they are insanely powerful, and they can drain the weak point meter in, like, seconds. That's, like, his gimmick, but for large hordes of enemies, like, just standard gameplay, he's not really the greatest character to play as. Thankfully though, like I said, this level is kind of short, and it is relatively easy, so it is perfect to show off Wizzro, but don't expect me to play as him much after this, unless I'm, like, required to, because I just really don't like his play style. Anyways though, let's clear out this keep as fast as we can, because I actually want to get over to where those Goron captains are, and kill them as fast as I can, because as you can see, they're all rushing towards the same destination, and if I actually stop them before they get over there, it will limit the amount of enemies that spawn later on in this level, thus making my life a lot easier. So I really want to do that. Although the game doesn't want me to do that, because yeah, they just spawned 2 more of them, so now there's 5 total Goron captains that we need to pursue and take down. Now, you don't actually need to take down all of them to successfully complete this mission and move on within the level. You only need to defeat a majority of them, so probably the first 3, and then you'd be fine. However, like I said, if you do get rid of all of them before they reach their destination, it limits the amount of enemies that spawn later on and makes your life a lot easier. So I highly recommend doing that if you can. Hopefully we can catch up to this guy because he is really close. I'm going to try and push this guy back as much as I can just so I can buy myself some more time. Thankfully, the Gorons at the top of the map, they have to go like all the way around since that keep is locked. So they can't like go directly through into that other keep, which does make them take a little bit longer, thus giving us some extra time, which is good. And hopefully we can take this guy out. Like I said, Wizzro does a pretty good job at like taking down single enemies, but when there's groups, it's really not his forte. Anyways, now that he is gone, let's rush all the way to the top of the map and hopefully we can catch up with those two other Gorons. Thankfully, they are rushing through like a few of our allies, so hopefully that will slow them down just enough for us to get up there and put a stop to them. But I'm curious, so I've got a question for those of you who actually have this game and purchased the DLC pack. When you got the new characters, like, how did you go about leveling them up? Did you use the training dojo and just spend a bunch of rupees? Or did you play the game for a couple of hours like I did? And the reason why I, like, you know, played the game is because the training dojo is just really expensive, and I did not have enough rupees to level up every single character to, like, you know, 23 like I did by playing it, because it just got to the point where it would have been like 150,000 rupees per character. And I was actually talking to one of my friends who was actually able to do that. Like, after they finished the main story, they somehow had a ton of rupees and were able to spend that on just leveling up the DLC characters, because I think they had like 300,000 rupees or something like that, which is just enough to get like one character from level 1 to 18. So you can drop all those rupees and pretty much level all the DLC characters up and just jump right into it. But I have no idea how he was able to accomplish that. Like, unless you were using a rupee plus weapon for the entire game, I really don't see how you could have had that many rupees at the end without grinding. So I'm curious to see if, like, anyone else had a similar experience, and maybe there's something that I'm missing, or maybe, like, something else that I could do inside these levels to maximize the amount of rupees that I collect. Because, like, right now, yeah, like, we've only collected 1,500 rupees in this level so far, and I feel like we probably could have done more, but I don't know. Let me know, guys. Anyways, now it's time to fight some Hylian captains, and this is where, like, defeating those Gorons quickly comes into play, because if you actually manage to catch them all before they reach their destinations like we did, it severely limits the amount of Hylian captains that spawn in this area. So, like, normally there would be, like, a ton of them all over the top portion of the map, but since, like, we did stop those Gorons, they're only sort of like in a diagonal line across the map, and there's way less of them, I think. So helps us out just a little bit. And we don't need to kill all of these. We just need to get a few of them down. That way we can move on with the rest of the story. And thankfully there's like 5 of them right here. So if we kill all these guys, we should be able to move on with the rest of the level just fine. And I'm firing my laser at them. Alright, that was a really stupid joke. I apologize. But it is one of Wizzro's best attacks. Anyways, retreat is our only option. Heck yeah, it is. It looks like we have successfully halted the Hylian captain's advance. Like, they're still around, but they're really not going to cause too much trouble. Who will cause trouble is Impa. So she's appeared. And now we gotta take her out, and I believe after we actually take Impa out, it will remove those Hylian captains from the map. So don't worry about them too much right now, like if they're causing a little bit of trouble by taking back keeps. Just focus everything on Impa, and I believe they will, like, leave the map after we defeat her. And this is sort of like where Wizzro is going to shine. Just taking out bosses is where he really is, like, the best character. So as long as we can just, like, maintain focus on Impa alone, we should be able to take her out quickly. I mean, just look at how fast he just destroyed that weak point meter. It was in seconds, and yes, his execute does so much damage as well. Anyways, let's see how much that does. Ah, dang, I was kind of hoping that special was going to finish her off, but a few more basic attacks did the job just fine. So there we go. Impa is gone now, and hopefully those Hylian captains will get out of here as well. I'm not sure if they do or not. I thought they did. I might be wrong at that. She only temporarily retreated as well, so she might come back later on. Okay, no. Okay, they stopped advancing. That's what I meant. So we halted their advance, I guess, which is good enough for me. And our troops inside the keeps hopefully will be enough to deal with them. I do want to take this keep, though, just in case. That way it reinforces the barrier that we do have on the map. I'm not really worried too much about map control right now, considering we are pretty much at the end of this level. Like, there's really only 1 or 2 more things that we need to do before we can finish things up here, so we should be just fine. But right now, I'm pretty much just waiting for the castle keep to open up, because that's where our next objective is. So I guess I'll just hang around here for a little bit, beat up these Hylian captains, and hopefully the game will be nice and like speed through its dialogue and open up the castle keep for us. Speaking of which, there we go. Thank goodness. Check it out. Zelda's inside too, and yes, she is our next objective. So what we need to do is defeat her, and that will successfully end off this mission. But of course, she's just not going to stand still. She's actually going to try and make her way over to our allied base and put a stop to that. But of course, there is no way I'm going to let that happen. Eat my laser, Zelda. Haha. And oh wow, I actually did all that damage before the cutscene of her even appearing, like, played. That's pretty funny. We did probably, like, I don't know, 70% of our HP. Or not 70%, 30% of our HP, which is kind of ridiculous. Like, dang, dude. Yeah, we did just about 70%. That's pretty good. Eat my laser. It's really good that, like, they can't block the laser either, I don't think, because I'm pretty sure it does eat through shields. And oh my gosh, that special just probably completely destroyed our weak point meter. Can I get in? Yes, we got the execute. That might actually finish her off. I'm not entirely sure. Ah, dang it, man. I was really, really hoping that would work, but whatever. Wow, we actually killed like a Hylian guard in the background with that spin attack. Sorry, Zelda, but it looks like you're dead, man. Not even close. That was a ridiculously quick battle. But yeah, like I said, Wizzro can just eat through boss battles super quickly. Anyways, though, while the game like goes and finishes up all of its dialogue, let's run around the map and collect a few more of these materials, because you guys know how I am about materials, man. I love collecting them and building all the badges and stuff like that. And wow, it's still like going through the text of like Zelda appearing and then getting defeated. Holy crap. That's gonna take some time, but gives me more time to collect all these lovely materials. Thank you very much, game. Anything around here? There's something in this keep. Hopefully I can grab it before the mission ends. Looks like it's just some special stuff and some magic stuff. Got a few extra materials. Very nice, though. I will take that. We did that mission, like, really, really quickly, though. I'm curious to see what our time was. And hey, here's Wizzro's fanfare. This was actually kind of creepy, not gonna lie. And yes, it's the hand of like a wall master or something like that. We didn't get to show it off, but Wizzro, when you use like his focus spirit or whatever, wow, 9 minutes exactly. That was really quick. But yeah, when you use his focus spirit, like at the end of his focus spirit, he turns into like a wall master, I think. So that's kind of cool. It's a shame we didn't get to show that off. Anyways, got some nice weapons and some nice materials, so I will gladly take that. But I think that is going to do it for this video. So if you guys enjoyed this episode, a like rating would be greatly appreciated. If you want to see more, consider subscribing. But once again, guys, my name is Matt. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.